But back to my face. I mean, the rub is, every time I relax my face and stop smiling, boom, Mr. Angry comes out again. So look how angry I am right now. Damn. Anybody know what the gravity of Earth is? What? Well, yeah, it's way too hard to explain, but I know the moon is involved. Well, no matter. Hey, wake up, people. Gravity is tearing at your body. There's just no stopping it. And it's pretty a big deal because people are afraid to face reality. Your face is going to change. Your belly is going to grow. Your boobs are going to sag. Your penis is going to grow limp. And, worst part, yeah, you'll probably never get laid again. You know, I guess I could get a facelift and reshape my smile, turkey neck, and take away 3 inches of my penis. But I'm a little worried. Have you seen all these people who get plastic surgery? I mean, some of it is good and some of it, in fact, most of it, is pretty damn tragic. They get all this work done and they still end up looking like the Joker. Puffy lips, that frozen smile, and they'll never look the same again. And that face that used to look back at them in the mirror, that face that's gone forever. You know, that's the saddest part because they think they can beat gravity. But rich or poor, it won't matter. Because guess what? Anatomy class is in session, y'all. You know, I'm thinking I'll just stay angry and be the old bastard I always was, bringing out Mr. Smiley whenever I can, and of course, wish I had gotten the plastic surgery. Have you noticed I've avoided the most obvious sign that I'm an old fart? My hair, now 50 shades of gray. But I'm very blessed, and I mean that, because God has given me a full head of hair, even if it makes me look like I'm 145 years old. I mean, hair for a man, a woman, is a pretty big deal at any age. And I'm going bald for a man or a woman is probably about as bad as it gets. And you know what? I really do feel their pain. But you have to give these guys credit because bald now is like the new fashion icon. And guys have decided to just go completely commando on their head. These guys have it handled. They just shave it off and boom, they're done. The problem is, anybody notice this? Every time you go to a sporting event or go out to dinner, I think I'm sitting in a Buddhist temple or perhaps a Hair Club for Men seminar. It leaves us, the rest of us, I mean, to ask the obvious question, should I let my hair go gray or live with it or dye my hair and, yes, look completely ridiculous for the rest of my life? Or should I buy a really bad toupee that looks like a piece of carpet and glue it to the top of my head over my bald spot like a big, big hair nicotine patch? So the question is, toupee or not toupee? Or dye or not to dye? You know, I prefer not to dye, but anyway, trying to look younger, well, it's a tough choice. You know, I remember the good old days when men could just spray on new hair. Remember that? Anybody remember the Ron Popeil's spray-on hair in a can? I tried it one time on my chest, but it melted my skin. I mean, can you imagine what that stuff did to your head? I think it's probably radioactive. I mean, damn. Now, we've got these guys on a quest to turn back time. There's the two-tone black shoe polish on top, gray underneath. Not sort of like on me. Or they just decide to go the full Monty, black hair dye and all the hair, or else they get really, really red, bad henna job. They both look about as fake as John Boehner asking, "Where's the job?" And speaking about henna, look, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger getting all jiggity. Wait, hold on. I left my henna dye in the chopper. I guess these guys think we won't notice that their bodies look like a used Chevy, and their hair, well, it looks like a used Chevy too, with a cheap-ass paint job. Newsflash, dude, we do. And you know, getting gray hair for women is really tough too. I mean, it means like 20 years of their, they've got only like 20 years until their period stops. And yes, I know about that. And generally, it's a cause for a major freak out. And, you know, when I got my hair, I totally know that feeling. But here's the deal. Women have it easy when it comes to getting their hair because they can dye their hair as much as they want. But the difference from men is that most of them get to go to a beautician who sort of knows what they're doing. Well, unless you go to a bad beautician, and then most of the time the guys get some, but like the guys, they get some real doozies up there too. And you know, here's the beautiful part. Even if though if you see an old lady with a bad dye job, or maybe a younger woman with two-tone hair, or a color that you've never seen before on Earth, I've seen a lot of those. We're more likely to forgive them because, you know what, hey, they're just trying to stay beautiful. And I mean, who doesn't want to do that? And God knows we need more beautiful women at any age, right? Bald men, on the other hand, are just giving the finger to God. And that brings us to toupees, which is another world altogether. It's a case of the more you pay, the more real it will look. Yes? Well, sort of. Have you ever noticed that the most of the really bad toupees in the world seem to find a home on a really fake preacher, a racist Republican, or a fake financial advisor? Yeah, well, they do. Or an actor who doesn't want us to know he's bald, or a news journalist or a sportscaster that is going bald or is already bald and believes his credibility will be improved by wearing a phony toupee. Note to self, no, it won't. You know, I'm guessing that probably 90% of the actors in Hollywood and their personalities on TV have toupees or hair pieces. It really all goes back to the real, or pretending to be real, and the need to have hair, just like Samson did, to face their audience. The problem is, the audience knows it's fake, and Samson is delusional. They torture themselves, I guess, because they think we won't like them because they have hair. Well, we might not, but I admire the ones who do give us the benefit of the doubt. So here's these guys. They wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and decide what's the best way to get down with their old big bad bald selves. And if it isn't glued to their head, you sit in front of a mirror or put it on, or have a hairstylist put it on for you. But most of the time, they just never get it straight. It gets all jiggity and sideways, and, you know, which of course adds to the comedy of it. I mean, how hard is it to get a great toupee or a bad toupee on straight and get it to fit right? Well, shit, apparently it's harder than it looks. But as I said, I understand their vanity, and being in the public eye certainly adds more to the pressure on them, and I do understand that. You know, I'm guessing that most of the guys take better care of their toupees than they do their wives, or in fact, their girlfriends, or even their partners. And you know what? That's right. Toupees and bad dye jobs are not just the sole property of straight people. You know, gays wear ridiculous toupees too. And even though they have a bigger resource pool for styling, they don't always look fabulous with their hairstyles. So I guess it's go bald or go bad toupee. You know, perhaps the worst toupee in the world is that funky toupee Rand Paul wears that looks like a raccoon being chased up a tree. Man, that thing is a real piece of work. You know, I hear he's running for president, and he has all these handlers and people surrounding him. How come no one has the guts to tell him he has a curly-ass twisted bunch of varmint on top of his head? I mean, that thing is bad, bad, bad. You know, I expect any day that damn raccoon will wake up and jump off Rand Paul's head. You know, that's something I would really pay to see.